Welcome to the fun part. So, a lot of these other videos were covering what we're going to talk about, how to think about things, how to make sure that you just understand what we're even building, how we're building this pipeline. But right now, we're going to start talking about the fun stuff and getting more jobs, getting more leads. And the first thing we need to do before we really get deep into all the new ways that we can generate leads with the neighborhood marketing, with the getting into new neighborhoods, with the referral strategies, we want to talk about what your baseline is. And right now, each of you has a set amount of opportunity kind of just floating around. That won't take a whole lot of effort, but that really require you to be aware of, and that you need to just make sure that you're leveraging. And so we want to talk about one, what's your current baseline of appointments or sales, and how can we increase it? Because right now, many of you are really still stuck in okay, I go put in the work and then I can get some sales. And I, of course, want you to work hard, but I also want to make sure that you're working smart as well. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about here. So, establishing your baseline. So, what is your baseline? We already kind of covered it, but it's the number of appointments and jobs that you generate outside of the neighborhood marketing and referral strategies. So, these are really what you're already generating. This is ideally how you're getting into new neighborhoods, and one of the main ways. And these are going to be things that we want to leverage long term. So, the main one that most of you guys can tap into almost right away is your personal network. So, how can we make sure that everyone in your network knows who you are, knows what you're doing, and also knows how to give you referrals? And especially those that are close with you, how can we make sure that they're actually actively looking for opportunities to give you referrals? Not that they're just going to sit on their phone hoping to find someone, but in general, you want them to see roofing and to immediately think, how can I help get Brian in front of this person, assuming your name's Brian or something. Door knocking. If you're already door knocking, or if you just spend some time every week door knocking and it's just kind of the natural groove of things, then that could be part of your baseline, because it's just one of the ways that you already are generating leads. And I think it's a good thing to do, especially if you don't have jobs. Door knocking is one of the easiest things. A lot of the time, anytime someone says that they have a lead problem, I say, do you really have a lead problem, or do you just have a priorities problem or an effort problem? Because at the end of the day, we all know that we can go hit a neighborhood and knock a bunch of doors. And even if we get denied a lot, there's a good chance we can get on one or two roofs if we just put in the work. And if we were willing to do that every day, if we were willing to prioritize that every day, then we'd probably be able to do really, really well. The thing is, no one likes door knocking every day. It's exhausting, it's tiring, and it's really hard to go switch context. So if you're at a job site and then you have to go knock doors in a new neighborhood, that's hard. If you're taking a sales call or on a sales appointment and you're having a good conversation, then you have to go drive and knock doors, it's hard to switch. So it really is such a huge interruption of time and effort. And that's why we want to kind of work to get away from it. But I encourage you to have a set amount of time every week that you are out there knocking doors and just trying to get in front of people. And you don't even have to really be knocking doors. You could just hang out in neighborhoods and try to talk to people. Side note, there's this pest control company that is really, really working the area that I live hard. And they have all their reps on those hoverboard things. So those little electric scooters that have just two wheels that you stand on with no hands and you just lean around, kind of like a Segway, except without the handle. they all are on those. So they get everyone's attention, everyone sees them. And honestly, when they knock on the door, you're not even surprised because you're like, oh, yeah, I saw that guy driving around. I'm not surprised he ended up hitting me up. And they're good. I bought from them. But the point is, like, you don't necessarily have to be just pounding on doors. You can also just be out there trying to create conversations. But if you don't get out there and you just sit at home, then it's just going to be harder. You may get leads from the company. Now, if you don't, that doesn't mean you need to start asking for them. It's just some companies have an abundance of leads and some don't. And then being active in neighborhood Facebook groups is huge. And that's something that if you're not doing, you should do, because that is the easiest way for you to get on roofs, is being really, really active. And it doesn't mean just saying, hey, here's my company, reach out to me, but being a little bit more direct. Someone makes a post, comment, hey, that's exactly what I do. I'd love to help. I'm going to send you a quick message now, just in case you'd like to schedule something. And then message them and then friend request them. You have to be active. So this is where, while previously when we're doing the neighborhood marketing and the referral stuff, we want to be played a little more cool. On this stuff, we're able to push it a little further. And the reason is because we're just trying to get that low hanging fruit. So that's really what's going to usually make up your baseline. And we're going to talk about how to increase it, because right now you may be doing great with this stuff, or you may barely be getting any calls and be wondering, like, what's Brad talking about? No one ever calls me. I just have to go knock doors, or I just have to wait for the company to give me leads, whatever it is. This is going to be a lot more consistent of a way for you to grow your pipeline. So the first thing that we want to do, and we're going to have trainings on each of these, but the first thing we want to do is use social media very intentionally and become the roofing guy or the roofing girl. And it's not, no one is annoyed with your posts about roofing, because if they don't like your posts, then they won't show up on their profile. If they're not looking at the posts, if they just see it and are like, ugh, and then keep scrolling, the algorithm will do its job and not continue showing that. And they even have an option to hide it if they want to. So a lot of people get hung up on that, but don't. Be that guy. Build a brand. Next is make sure your friends and family know that you are interested in referrals and are on the lookout. So no ask, no get. This is one of those things where you need to communicate with your friends and family and not just assume that they know exactly what you do and know exactly how to give you referrals and know exactly when to give you referrals. This is so important if you're wanting to get these easy, low-hanging fruit and these referral quality leads. They need to know how to give them to you. So communicate with them. Have an intentional conversation with a lot of the people that you think would be most likely to. Some close friends, family. It'll go a long way. And people like to help people. I think I've already talked about that a couple times. And especially people, your friends and family, they're going to love tagging you in posts and saying, oh, my nephew is a roofing, works in roofing, or whatever it is. Next is you can build a business-to-business relationship that you can pass referrals back and forth without even leaving your house. So we're going to cover how to do that. Super simple. And it's kind of funny how it works, but it's just so easy. And then spend a set amount of time every day just searching the neighborhood Facebook groups for people asking about roofing, but also we'll cover on the referral side, no, the B2B referral side, looking for other trades too, because that's part of how we're going to build that relationship. So that is just the overview of your baseline and how we're going to increase it. Now we're going to go individual on these trainings and talk about what to actually do more tactically. But the big point that we want to hammer in right now is it does take effort and being intentional, but these things that we're going to go over are some of the easiest ways that you will be able to generate leads on a normal basis. These are some of the easiest ways that you will be able to get into new areas. Now, the neighborhood marketing strategies and the referral strategies, that will be incredibly easy, and you will enjoy those leads, and that's really going to be the huge vehicle for growing. But you still need to get on in the neighborhood. You need to get the invite. And remember, that's one of the main goals we have, is getting the invitation. These strategies will be strategies that allow you to get the invitation over and over and over again into areas that you want to work. So excited to keep going. Watch the next video. Mark complete below so we know what's going on. If you haven't, by the way, go back and mark complete all the videos you have watched. See ya.